Well, yesterday's stage was another hard one. Yeah, it was really fast straight away, and it wasn't long before we were already at the bottom of the first major climb, which was about 11 kilometers. Not nearly as steep as the other climby day, but it was, solid enough. And I think there were probably only about 20 or 30 riders that got over the top in the first group. And we had half the team up there, which was good. But yeah, not a super awesome day for the team. But it was Tiff's birthday, and so that was fun. We sang happy birthday to her in the morning. We had some chocolate cake waiting for us after the stage, and we went to the airport and got the plane over to Sardinia. And on the bus transfer from the airport to the hotel, we sang happy birthday to Tiff again with all the other teams on the bus. Actually Tiff shouted us as well to a little trip into town when we were waiting for the plane. We got there like 4 hours before it was due to leave, so we had plenty of time to get a taxi into town and have a delicious Italian authentic pizza, and then get back to the airport and get on that plane. It was delayed in the end though, so it was a bit of a late one. We got to our hotel at around just after 11:30, but then had a good sleep in this morning, and our staff came and picked us up around 10 a.m. They took the ferry, so that was a long trip for them. They were on there for about 14 hours, I think. Like all the pictures look great, the swimming pool out on the deck. They had a nice dinner, but it's a long day for them. And then an early morning came and got us, and then it was an hour drive to our hotel for tonight, which is really nice, up in the hills and on the mountain somewhere, 1,000 meters of elevation. Absolutely nothing out here, but I'm just chilling outside with a really great view of the mountains, and the sun is setting. There's all these hammocks around, and just taking in the surroundings today. Actually did a nice ride this afternoon after lunch, just a couple hours, spin the legs out, and we all did some efforts, and then had a massage and dinner, and just getting ready for bed, and then we go again tomorrow. So tomorrow's stage is looking like a good one. It could be good for our team. It's no big long mountains, so looking forward to it actually. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Well, that was a pretty tough rest day actually. So we left the hotel this morning, like I said, pretty early. And when we arrived at the next hotel and it was like it was a pretty ride, but for the bus it was quite hard because we had to go on a climb, really small roads. And I'm always like so impressed how the bus drivers, how they do that, like in those tiny Italian villages, and then they just go with the bus everywhere. But we went up and then had to wait a little bit because all the cars and the trucks and stuff, they were like on 2 boats or something. I don't not really get it. But anyway, the suitcases were not there yet. But as soon as they were there, we just went for a little ride. And on the way back, we stopped at a little store. Had a little gelato. It was really nice. We sat there. And it was hot today. It was really hot. And they also said that tomorrow and the day after are going to be pretty hot days. So after our ride, we had lunch. It was a good lunch. And we did the meeting from the race from yesterday, because yesterday after the race there was not any time to do that. So we did a meeting. massage, of course, and physio. And after that, we went to the pool with the whole team. We just jumped in the pool and cooled down, had some fun. It was nice too, just a little bit of a relaxed time. And then it was already time for dinner. And then the rest day is done. Those days, so many things are happening. So on a rest day, you're actually always like doing something. And yeah, actually the time in the pool was the most relaxing part of the day. And it was fun, but it was good to have a more calm day. But everybody's pretty tired. But it's also nice to ride here on the island, and it's really pretty. And we're definitely looking forward to the last two stages. I think it really fits our team. But also, normally we stay at the dinner table long and we keep chatting about like a lot. But tonight everybody was like, I want to go to bed. I'm so tired. Everybody was so tired, obviously, because we arrived so late yesterday, and then today is actually quite busy. And everybody is tired, but only 2 more days to go. And another good thing, we could finally see a stage of the Tour de France, but because we missed it every day. Well, that was the rest day. Now getting ready for the last 2 stages. It's going to be hot stages, but we're definitely looking forward and gonna make some fun there. Well, good night.
We are back today to talk about the Giro Donne. I'm just going to say it differently every time. We started out this podcast today with some audio diaries from Sarah Roy from stage 7 before the rest day, and from Nina Kessler of Jayco-AlUla on the rest day. So going back in time for a second, but they sent them late. I will still include them in this episode. It's not their fault. Racing is really hard. Hannah, you've done audio diaries for me. Isn't it not fun?
I'm just a bit too awkward to do them.
I loved your audio diaries.
I don't like an audience, so if you've got a 4-hour transfer,
That's what Sarah Roy says, the same thing. And then she just forgets. I liked your audio diaries. One year you just talked about the hotels. You would just describe your hotel room.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I just do a race and I just forget about racing. I'm pretty good. It's probably a talent for me just to be able to switch off completely. But yeah, people like to know what the hotels we're in.
They loved it. I mean, people like to hear a little bit of behind the scenes. Before we dive into today's stage, we have an audio diary from Lauretta Hanson of the Lidl-Trek team before the start of the stage.
Hi everyone, Lauretta Hanson here, back again after a really lovely rest day in Sardinia. One of the things with Giro is you never know what hotels you're going to get. It's a bit of a lottery, and yesterday I think we won big. We had a really nice place in the mountains in Sardinia with nice apartments, really good food, a pool. It was just a really good place to relax. We've had some interesting ones from some really small, sparse kind of basic Italian hotels early in the Giro to some really modern ones, and now a really nice, cute, cozy one on Sardinia, which was perfect for what we wanted for a rest day. So we had a pretty easy day. We went for a swim in the morning and then a ride in the afternoon, and then you kind of switch back into gear again, and you do massage, osteo, fill up again, get ready for the last 2 days of Giro. So here we are back on the bus on our way to stage 8. We have 125 Ks today, with it's sort of no real big climbs, but again rolly, sort of undulating, and like Sardinia is very sort of twisty roads, not very flat, quite windy today as well, so there's potential for crosswinds, which will be interesting. Like we have Gaia in third at the moment on GC. She's 30 seconds off second, 4.5 minutes off Annemiek, but then also, not so far behind. I think about a minute further back is fourth. So, we're all in for helping maintain that GC. So, it'll be all about keeping her safe in those crosswinds and making sure we don't lose any time today and potentially even move up. So, we'll see how the day goes. We're looking forward to it. I think everyone's a bit tired, but so is the entire peloton. At this point, it's kind of what you've got left. Like I was saying earlier in my audio diaries, how you took care of yourself in those early days will help you tenfold in these last couple of stages. So we'll kind of see who's there and who's not, and take it as it comes. But I did have a couple of people ask me some questions on Instagram, so I wanted to take a minute and answer those. One of them was, how many times do I have to cover a break or an attack during the race? And that really depends on the race. I think it was stage 6. It was pretty aggressive at the start. They wanted to try and get a break going, and unfortunately it didn't actually go, but I was covering a lot of moves. Like normally you'll have one or two teammates, or at least a couple of teammates trying to cover those early breaks, so you can play off each other. Like one will go on one attack while the other gets ready for the counter. Sometimes you hope the break goes within 10-20 minutes, whereas it felt like the first 2 hours of that race were just constantly going. So it takes a lot of energy out of you, and then just those little accelerations, like they really start to wear on you, and by the end of that stage I was pretty cooked. But yeah, this tour I've done a lot of leading into the mountains and making sure that Gaia is in good position, so it's been less sharp accelerations and more just slow, steady grinding away just to keep her near the front and in good position. And then someone else also asked me how we feel about the cameras and all the media around us, especially at the end of the race. And I guess that comes down to just respect. Like, we're all on this tour together. From the media, they all understand kind of how we're feeling. It can seem a bit intrusive at times, but it's also part of our job. People want to see the real emotion and the real story of cycling, and it's in those moments that's captured, I feel. Sometimes it can be a bit much if you're really emotional, but it's kind of part of it. You have to get on with it, I guess. And most people are respectful. No photographer is really going to flick you and really get in your face. So most of the time, everyone's respectful of each other and give each other space when it's needed. It's all part of it. It's part of being a professional cyclist. We want more coverage, and that's part of how we tell our story. So we're looking forward to today, and hopefully giving people lots to talk about and more stories to come. So thanks, bye.
So stage 8, we're back to racing. We've got just one more stage to go now, only Sunday, and today was not a breakaway day, unfortunately. Maybe tomorrow, there's one more chance, but it was a reduced bunch sprint won by Blanca Voss. Chloe Dygert came in second, and Liana Lippert was third for Movistar. An awesome sprint for Liana, although I think she's got that kick on her, so unsurprised to see her up there. And I don't know if Annemiek listens to our podcast. I would hope not, because I've in the past been critical of her. Flirty Mackay was all over the race today, off the front, attacking left, right, and center.
She was given freedom, I reckon, today, and she took it. Yeah, she's always been a really attacking rider. Just racing her, she just always wanted to be up the road, and she doesn't like an easy race. So yeah, it was good to see.
I think they didn't give her much space today. There was a couple teams that were keen for a sprint. Really great ride by Blanca Voss, who had no teammates. Really, I mean, she has teammates, and they were up there doing work for her, of course, but she has a reduced team with Elena Cecchini and Lorena Wiebes out. And those two would have been the ones up in the sprint had they been at the race. But Blanca Voss, what a talent. I mean, she won her first World Tour race at Tour de Suisse on the first stage. And within a month has taken her second World Tour win.
She's always been like a talent, and I think she's just spent like the last year and a half just learning the ropes of being in the peloton. And I mean, she's learning from the best in the business, having Anna van der Breggen in the car behind you, and Chantel also, even though she hasn't been racing, she would have been vital coming to those races and giving some advice. And yeah, there's a lot of riders in that team with a lot of experience, so she's been learning from the best and just going on training camps. If you're riding at altitude with Demi Vollering, then you're going to be going pretty well after that. So yeah, it's really good to see.
Chantel back on her bike today after having a baby.
Yeah. Cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And also a pretty impressive ride by Chloe Dygert, who continues to kind of get up there in the sprints. It was an awesome lead out from Canyon SRAM. Soraya Paladin just is doing an amazing job at kind of making sure the pace is really high in the final kilometers. She was amazing at Ride London and just kind of picked up where she left off here. And also Sarah Roy did a really good job. Chloe in second. I think she's just such a fascinating rider.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, Soraya, she's a really good bike rider, and that Chloe would have said she wanted it fast. It was a hard sprint. It's just a shame that Bank of Lost was just so much better. But yeah, it looks like it was a good finish. I didn't actually get to see it, but I saw it on Twitter, and it just said that Soraya was just on the front for ages, just doing a great lead out. And then like seeing the footage from the finish line, it was just strung out. So yeah, she must have done a really good one. But I have to say a shout out to 5th place, Ali Wollaston, who was my rider to watch.
Yep.
So it's cool to see her get up there in one of those finishes. She's like a really good, just a strong rider that is good when it's just like a little bit uphill. So definitely one to watch in the future.
Yeah, and AG Insurance Soudal Quickstep did a really good job of positioning her into that sprint. So I think, yeah, I'm excited to see kind of what she does in the future. She's definitely a cool rider to watch. She's Sylvia Persico, again, up there as well. And an interesting situation with Marianne Vos, because she finished 10th, but she pretty much started the sprint. And at first I was like, I think she started early because she just kind of couldn't hold it to the line and got passed by 9 people before the finish. But then there was some chatter on Twitter that she may have had a mechanical. There was a moment where she was mid-sprint and then sat down and then started sprinting again. And then she banged her bars really hard, which we don't honestly see that kind of disappointment from Vos very often. So it was a little bit surprising.
Yeah, because she would have pinned this finish as one that suited her really well. And I saw she came 10th. So I was like, oh, is she just not going well, not feeling well, or was there something else? So yeah, it's unlike her to be there, be confident, open it up, and then not be able to finish it off. So
her quote after the race was that it was really tough. It was a really tough day, and that was the most she could do. The heat possibly may have gotten to her. I mean, it was like 97, 36 Celsius today. It was brutally hot.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's hot everywhere now. It's just taking a big hit everywhere, but yeah, that wouldn't have been good. I bet there's a lot of soigneurs and directors that have given away a lot of bottles today. So.
And it wasn't a normal sprint. It was a little bit of an uphill sprint, and there was a corner right before the line. So it wasn't just like a straight up sprint. Although tomorrow, stage 9 will be a little bit more straightforward as far as the finish. It's there's like a 7.7 kilometer long climb halfway through the day, and another Cat 3 like really early in the day, like 6 kilometers into the stage or something. So super fun to start off the last day like that. And then it's basically descending and then a little bit of flat all the way to the line. It's about 30K of descent/flat. So it's going to be, I mean, if it's not a breakaway day, then it will definitely be another day that Vos could try to go for it if she's feeling a little bit better.
Do you know who I reckon is going to want it to be a sprint tomorrow? Might have a little go, is Bastianelli. Her last ever race. So I wouldn't be surprised if because the climb, it doesn't look like a really, really hard day.
No, both of the climbs, the highest percent they get to is 5.9, but it's mostly like 5%, 4%. Yeah. They're really gradual, kind of not even slogs because they're not that long.
It's going to be an emotional day for her. I mean, she's been in the peloton a really, really long time, finishing in Italy as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if UAE, want to do something special and do a lead out or something for her, and just be cool to finish your last race with your arms in the air.
Yeah, 18 years she's been racing.
Wow.
With a year off in 2009 for a doping suspension. But yeah, former world champion. She won the World Championship road race in 2007, came back to the peloton after her suspension in 2010, and has kind of been a staple in the peloton ever since then. A mom as well.
She was probably one of the first moms in the peloton.
Yeah. And she's won just like so many huge races. Flanders, Gent-Wevelgem. She's won Omloop het Hageland twice.
Yeah, she's also quite a nice rider to race with as well. Like, she's always saying please and thank you and sorry. She's quite polite. She's just respectful, which is nice, you know. Like, if you give respect and then you get it back, it's nice. I've never like had to elbow her or anything or fight. So yeah, should be missed, I'm sure.
As far as the GC, barring any insanity, it looks like it's pretty much set for the rest of the race, although there's a couple of spots that are just seconds apart. Today, there were 2 shifts in the general classification. Erica Megnaldi swapped places with Veronica Ewers. They're still 1 second apart at 5:34 and 5:35. So if there's a little bit of scuffle for bonus seconds, that's why. And then Sylvia Persico and Niamh Fisher-Black also swapped places, but they're 27 seconds apart. That was, just Niamh losing a little bit of time out there because she did get 5 bonus seconds on the stage. So she's definitely in the hunt for jumping in the GC. Let's hear from her really quick.
Hey, it's Niamh. After stage 8, the penultimate day of Giro Donne, I think we were riding through a sauna today, actually. I'm not sure if I just finished a race or, I don't know. But my body feels that drained of all fluid. It was so hot. And, it was just kind of one of those days of all-consuming heat that you just have to tell yourself the whole day, like, everyone is feeling this. Like, everything burns, your feet burn, like, the road, you just feel the heat coming from the road, even. Yeah, so just a day all about sort of trying to get through it, like, just push on the pedal as best you can and keep fueled and keep the hydration there. A little bit annoyingly, I'm in the green jersey, which makes sometimes life a little bit more difficult because Swannies don't recognise you, and I missed several feeds today, which is not ideal, but you just kind of have to do the best with what you can. I got some warm plastic bottles of water from the neutral surface car a couple of times because it was also a little bit hectic with a lot of riders dropping and coming back and things like that with the climbs, and obviously the adverse circumstances of the heat. I mean, as I said, everyone's suffering. But anyway, to the point, we had a very nice day as a team. My roomie, Blanca Vass, sprinted to the win, which I'm super proud of her. I mean, I think she's had a few tough days this Giro, and she's also really helpful in helping me and stuff when it comes to the climbs and things like that. So it was really nice to see her get up for it today. And this, I've seen her head down a few times, but this morning I saw something in her eyes, and she had it today. And I could also see it in the race, like the way she was just pushing on the pedals when I was dying pretty much. I was like, Blanca's got it. So it's super cool to see that. And we can pop some more champagne tonight, which is also nice. And tomorrow is the last day, which is feels a bit strange. This Giro actually feels like it's gone really fast. It's been a little bit of a funny one, bit of a roller coaster, I have to say. But another chance tomorrow. Be prepared. Gonna prepare for another very hot day like today, which is concerning. And a few more climbs tomorrow, which is, it's gonna be hard. Not an easy roll into the finish of the Giro, But yeah, I'll speak to you after then. Hopefully I'll have pizza in hand, and yeah, it'll be another good day. But yeah, see you then.
So yeah, the top 3 of the general classification, with Annemiek van Vleuten 3 minutes and 56 seconds ahead of Juliette Lebeau, looks pretty set to take her 4th Giro victory. The same amount as Anna van der Breggen, and yeah, 2nd Grand Tour in quotes stage race victory of the year.
Wow. So she could do the treble
again. Yeah, we'll see.
She'll be going for that. Yeah.
Well, Hannah, we'll be back tomorrow to talk about the final stage. Thanks so much. Let's close out the episode with an audio diary from Veronica Ewers.
Penultimate stage of the Giro down was a hot one. Definitely a lot harder than was, I think, anticipated. Pretty bummed to lose a second and drop in the GC. But tomorrow's the last day, so gonna fight for that position back. But ultimately, yeah, it's been a hot and emotional Giro. Both Letizia and Lizzie on my team went down today, unfortunately, but they are okay. Just beat up a bit. But, yep, last day tomorrow.